Everybody. Hi, welcome to week 2 of the Pay Gap Comedy Couch Tour. We are so happy to be here with you and so glad that you're here with us. If you haven't shared your video with us, please do so, unless of course you don't want your face recorded. That's cool. But we would love to see you and see your reactions. We love it when people have signs that they can lift up being like, yeah, or that's hilarious, or ha ha ha. One of these is great. Big facial expressions, clapping, we love it. As you know, we're still finding out how processes like these go, and everybody's trying to make it work in these really stressful times. So any way that you can interact with us, we love it. We're here to bring you some of the greatest comedy that can be found, not just in the state of Minnesota, but nationally. And all of our voices are female, non-binary, or multi-gendered. So this is a really important step for all of us. The Pay Gap Comedy Tour started when a show came through town with an all-male lineup. And when people asked where the women were, they were like, what do you mean? Do women do comedy? And so this is a response to that. We are really thrilled that last week for our debut Pay Gap Comedy Couch Tour, we had 3 really amazing comics. We had Maggie Ferris, we had Mary Mack, and we had Tiffany Norton. And they really just blazed the way and taught us a ton about how this process can go. Tonight we have another great lineup for you, from up-and-comers to really people with fan bases that are so huge you can't even believe it. Tonight, one of our first comics, actually our first comic, is Khadijah Cooper. And before I get too much into her bio, I want to let you know that there are a lot of ways that you can support the Pay Gap Comedy Couch Tour. At some point, they're going to cut away from my yapping face, and they're going to show all the links that you can follow to support programming like this and artists like this. There's an alarm going off, and guess what? It's my phone. I thought I turned it off.
Do you want me to dig in there?
I'm really sorry. No, let's just let it go and see what happens. I don't know what I'm late for. Maybe I'm supposed to wrap something up. Anyway, so have we shown the slide with all the ways that people can help? Okay, you can actually tip your performers, your favorite performer of the night. You can buy advance tickets. We're doing this for 8 weeks out. And next week we have another really great lineup. So let's go to our first comic so I can shut off my phone alarm. Good gracious, how embarrassing. Anyway, our first performer tonight is Khadijah Cooper. She is a rising star on the comedy scene. She was one of the House of Comedy's funniest person with a day job. She was voted last year as one of the top comics in the city by City Pages. She has a really great podcast called Q&A with K&A, and right now I'm going to grab my drink and get awkwardly off this couch, shut that phone alarm off. Please welcome Khadijah Cooper.
Woo! Where am I? Can people see me yet? Wait, can people see me yet? Oh, here we go. Here we are. What's up, everybody? Oh my God, look at your signs. I love it. I didn't know we could get tips. I feel like a stripper. This is awesome. This is so fun. This is so good. We're all alone together. This is beautiful. I get to be in a studio. I've never gotten to do comedy in a studio before. So I feel fancy as fuck right now. So thank you, quarantine. Thank you. I think we all kind of had that moment where we knew coronavirus was serious. You know, because I heard about it way back in February. And then, you know, you kind of linger. But then one day, I was scrolling on Instagram, and I saw Cardi B say, "Coronavirus! This shit is real!" And I was like, oh my gosh, this is getting serious. And then they made a remix, Elmo's seen walking on the earth. I was like, this is serious. Get the Lysol. I'm Lysol in my house. Before I know it, I'm cutting up all my socks to make masks, grabbing bandanas. I'm grabbing hair ties to make masks. I'm like, we gotta get this together. I knew it. But I'm not wearing a mask now, but when I go out in the public, I do wear a mask because I think it's important to protect my family, the community, all of those things. But when I was at Target, I'm kind of like a fast walker. I like to walk brisk. And I got into Target, and I looked around, and I was in the aisle all by myself. And I just had to get a breath. I I couldn't breathe under that mask. I was looking around like, no wonder why everybody's in Target going so slow. Nobody can breathe under these masks. I don't know, maybe I need to work on my cardio, but I had to get in and out of Target and get outside to get a nice fresh breath. I don't know if anybody can relate or if it's just me. That's fine. That's fine. This is crazy times that we're in. I'm actually in quarantine with my 16-year-old daughter, which I was excited about. I was. As soon as I heard that we're locked down, she's stuck in the house, I'm working from home, I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be just like Gilmore Girls. We're gonna be the best friends, we're gonna be best friends. We're gonna walk together, we're gonna cook together, we're gonna be on the couch laughing in slow motion together. I was like, this is so awesome, because before coronavirus, she's 16, she's out with her friends all the time. I was doing comedy, we kind of were like ships passing in the night, so I was very excited about this. And then, reality. And it's basically like the same thing, just wherever I'm at in the house, she's somewhere else. If I go in her room, she goes in the basement. If I try to go in the basement with her, she goes in the kitchen. If I go in the kitchen with her, she goes in the living room. I just can't get a hold of her. So, have any of you seen my daughter? Because I sure haven't. I don't know where she is. It's really fun. So we're not like Gilmore Girls at all, so that's fine. Mostly because I probably don't have witch-right parents, so that's probably why that didn't work out. Like in the Gilmore Girls. So like I said, my daughter's 16, and I can't, sit here and tell you that she's an awful teen or she's mouthy or attitude. She doesn't want to spend time with me, but she's actually a really good kid. I'm blessed, I'm lucky. Probably because she knows I'll choke her at any moment. I know some of you, yes, okay, you must have had daughters, so you understand. Anybody with daughters, like, yeah, we want to choke them sometimes, we get it. Sometimes when I say that, people are like, oh, Khadijah, that's child abuse. And I was like, oh, that hypothetical choke I just mentioned on stage during my comedy routine? Okay. But you know what I tell those people? Fuck you. She started it. She was inside of my body kicking my uterus for 9 months. Nobody's talking about that, It's an eye for an eye. I'm doing God's work. It's in the Bible. You're welcome. You're welcome. After I had my daughter, she didn't only just beat me up on the inside, she wrecked my body on the outside too. Before my daughter was born, I had the body of Simone Biles doing backflips on a balance beam. And now I just look like some Jamaican chick throwing shot put. You know what I mean? Like I got a real strong upper body. It's fine. It's my body now. It's fine. Now my body looks like every church lady in all the Tyler Perry movies. It's fine. It's fine. That's what my body looks like. I'm working with it. It's okay. Oh, I love you too. Thank you. We love our bodies, right? My daughter, she's one of those kids. She's 16, and she came up to me one day, and she goes, "Hey, Mom." And I was like, bullshit. Because, let me explain. I know what's coming next because of how "Hey, Mom" sounds. If she walks up to me and she goes, "Hey, Mom," I know she's going to ask me for money. But if she comes up and she does that quick "Hey, Mom," I know that she's going to say something smart, and I got to have my wits about me. Because when my daughter was little, I was the smartest person she knew. She was always like, "Oh, Mommy, you're so smart. Oh, Mommy, you're so pretty. Oh, Mommy, you're so smart. Oh, you have all the answers. You know why the sky is blue. You know why grass is green. You know where babies come from. You know everything." And now that scale is tipping a little bit. It's tipping. This one day, I don't know where she gets this stuff. This one day, she comes up to me and she goes, "Hey, Mom." And I was like, okay, I'm ready. And she goes, "You know water?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've heard of it." She goes, "Do you know the flavor of water?" And I was like, "Please tell me." She's like, okay, I will. The flavor of water is its temperature. It just does a fast turn and just walks away. And then all of a sudden I get up and I start walking around. I'm like, oh my gosh, is my daughter super, super smart or really, really dumb? I don't know. I know you all are at home and y'all thought. So the folks who said that's really, really smart, y'all are very sweet people. For the folks who thought that was really, really dumb, you're an asshole. But you're also right. You're also right. It is dumb. Because everybody knows the flavor of water is wet. Duh. We figured that out in the 90s. And we were stuck at home with the chicken pox. Remember that? We've been here before, people. We will get through this. For everyone who's younger and had got the chicken pox vaccine, you have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's fine. Being a mom is like so wild. Something else that's really crazy is I love being a mom, but the one thing that sucks the most is that I don't get to see my friends enough. You know, my daughter's busy. Well, normally, all my friends' kids are busy. Well, now we can't see each other because we got a social distance and quarantine. But you know, now that I'm 37 and single, which is a really fun combination. It's really fun if anybody has a son or a nephew or anything, you know how to get a hold of me. Back in February, my girlfriend had just got a divorce. And so we decided to go out. And my friends were like, all right, let's get dressed up. And I was like, yeah, I got some old dresses. I got it. Let's do this. So I go to get ready. I looked in my closet. I was like, oh, that's the dress. I haven't worn that dress in a while. That dress looked back at me and was like, I was like, oh my God, dress, quit playing. Y'all, I went to go grab the dress. I swear to God, the dress did this. I was like, well, that's rude. I brought you in this house. Now you get on my body. But before the dress could get on my body, I had to run to my Spanx drawer and layer up the Spanx. So that's what I did. And then I put that dress on and I felt good. Well, I didn't feel good, but I looked good and I was ready. So me and my girlfriends, we went out to this nightclub. Of course, we had to Google it because we didn't know what nightclub to go to. We're old. All we do is go to Applebee's for 2-for-1s. We didn't know where to go, but we figured it out. We went out to this club, lots of young girls. We're like, okay. We get out on the dance floor. I look around, I'm like, oh my God. We look like a Zumba class that just got out. Oh my God. I'm looking over at my friend. I'm like, oh my God, Becky, you're doing squats. Get up. You're embarrassing us. Oh my gosh. I was like, man, forget this. We used to kick it. We used to get down. So I was like, okay, here we go. And I started doing this, got my hands on my knees. And my friends were like, oh shit, Khadijah, get it. And I was like, get help. I can't breathe. My Spanx too tight. I need to get to the hospital. I'm not getting it. I need to get help ASAP. Listen, friends, if this is all over and you see me out at the club and I'm doing this, I'm not getting it. I need to get to the hospital. Get your phones and dial 911 immediately. Please. So, as I started to come to, because I passed out.
Oh my God.
My friend Becky walks by me and goes, I guess those squats aren't embarrassing now. And I was like, touche, Becky, touche. And as I'm getting cut out of my Spanx by the jaws of life, I look up to the only man I met that night, the EMT. Y'all, I'm Khadijah Cooper. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Woo!
Yeah.
Keeping socially distant. It's like a game of Jenga. All right. So that was Khadijah Cooper. Khadijah, thank you so much. Again, if you liked what you saw just now, please take advantage of all those many ways to support programming just like this. Again, I'm super sorry my phone alarm went off. Boy, you should have seen the looks some people were giving me here. Not cool. I don't even know what it's set for. Maybe time to refill my drink? I don't know. There's a person coming into my space here right now. I think it might be our second guest of the night. Social distance. All right. Oh my God, we have fun. All right, so again, I just want to do a couple of reminders here. We are here with MCN6. So this is the studio and the channel where we are practicing safe social distancing, as well as putting out like this really top-notch content quality for you. So Minnesota Community Network Channel 6 is what MCN6 stands for. So I want you to get that on your radar because they are putting out so much programming right now, especially in this time of isolation and COVID-19. They are really ratcheting their game up. If you have Roku, you can find them easily. Otherwise, just get online, find out how you can support them as well. They've been great partners for us. All right, so this is the Pay Gap Comedy Couch Tour, and our next comic tonight is Paige Collette. Paige Collette is an actor, an improviser, a performer. She has this amazing show that I was very lucky to see last year called The Monica Meditations. I think you're really going to love what you are about to see right now. So please welcome Paige Collette.
Oh my God, no.
Social distance.
You go first. Okay. Hi, y'all. Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name is Patricia Lake, and I am a Mary Kay Cosmetics representative. Discover what you love. We're not going to talk about makeup tonight. We're going to talk about a few other things. First off, I wanted to talk to you about my outfit. So I decided to keep it loungy since so many of us are at home. And this is something you might call like a caftan or a house dress or a muumuu. You know, people might call this a forgiving article of clothing, and I get that because this is essentially what Jesus wore his whole life, these long flowing robes. And you know, he is one of the top 10 most forgiving men of all time, okay? I know this because I was raised Catholic in Texas, all right? And last week we had Tiffany Norton. She told us she was raised Catholic and she did her cooking show, Bitter Baker. And I think there's such a connection between Catholic Mass, Christian service, and cooking shows, you know, because the priest is up there, he's making the same thing every Sunday, but you know, he's like, okay, we're gonna make the blood of Christ, and all you need to do this is a cup of red wine. Doesn't have to be expensive. Jesus could use water. We're gonna have to use wine. Yes, so I'm actually gonna make a little something. I brought a few things, and I just always like to have a little snack. I'm gonna do a modified sangria, so y'all can try this at home. I've got some leftover apple pie filling. We're just gonna do that for ourselves, and then a little bit of jelly. Okay.
Oh God.
And okay, then we've got our wine, ooh, goodness, and a little more sweetness, butterscotch, I don't know, oh, there we go. This was in our basement. There's some like crust coming off the top. Okay, so you can try this at home. I mean, anything works, anything goes. Okay, here we go. So yeah, No, let's talk about Catholicism just a little bit more. I know my parents are out there watching. Thanks for the Catholicism, guys. But I, love true crime, and the murder of Jesus is like one of the best known true crime stories out there. It's fascinating. People have written books. I mean, there's plays. It's incredible. And then you've got the Virgin Mary, who, one of our first examples of the Me Too phenomenon. I mean, how do you say no to God? All right, and he's definitely her boss, so a little bit questionable. You know, and then she became one of the most famous mothers on the planet. Speaking of mothers, yes, Mother's Day. I love how Mother's Day corresponds with spring, especially here in the Twin Cities. Beautiful blossoms, flowering, it's gorgeous. I was taking a walk the other day and I saw what I thought was the most beautiful red flowering bush. And as I got closer to it, I realized it was a parked pickup truck, a red parked pickup truck behind sort of this patchy foliage bush kind of thing. But then I was like, you know, that's beautiful too. Because whoever owns that red pickup truck, they're not driving it around. They're not being reckless. They are staying home because they care about their health. They care about the health of those around them. And I was just really touched by that. But, you know, you can take walks right now and the flowers, they are out. I mean, lilacs are on deck. They're going to be popping any day, my friends. I always like to think of lilacs as the season's gift. You know, we're done with the brutal winter and we've got lilacs. The kind of gift you would give a person after you betrayed them and you wanted life to go back to normal. And it must work because a lot of us live up in Minnesota, brutal winters. But you know, why do you think people buy people flowers after a big fight? They're just mimicking the manipulative and effective way that the seasons go about stuff. Just a little more. Yes. So, you know, the flowers are beautiful, and like any toxic relationship, when things are good with the seasons, they're good. And the seasons will tell you, I've changed, you know, I've changed. And the seasons do change for a while. But I think we're all adults here, and if you pay attention, there's a pattern. Winter will come back, and it's going to be hard, okay? I might have some family watching in Texas. You don't understand the winter thing, but Texas has its own problems, right? First one I can think of is your governor. Could make a lot of jokes about your governor. Not going to do that. Feel disappointed? That's how I feel about your governor, Texas. It's a mess down there. But something that Minnesota and Texas have in common is mosquito season. That's coming up too. Now, you Minnesotans, you love to talk like you invented mosquitoes or something. Like you're the first people to discover mosquitoes. Let me tell you, we have them in Texas and they're bigger. Yeah. But mosquitoes are fierce wherever you go. Last season, I got my first mosquito bite through a pair of leggings I was wearing. They're so persistent. And I was thinking, you know, actually I'm going to try a little something different. You know, there's a lot of people in the population who have never been catcalled. I mean, men primarily. And the closest you're going to get to experiencing that is unwanted attention from mosquitoes. You know, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. If you leave the house, you are at risk. And mosquitoes kill hundreds of thousands of people each year. So with that, there's just one thing I want to present to y'all. Mother's Day coming up. Childless by choice, or as some people say, selfish. Of course, I don't think that. But for those of you who do have children, because I know I've got some friends watching who do, and I brought something for you. Because, oh my God. So you guys, wow, okay? This is actually for all of us because it's a Texas-sized trophy. It's huge. It's a wedding cake. We can share it. It's a hard time right now for a lot of people. Just want y'all to stick together. Thanks for listening to me tonight, and enjoy the rest of the show. Bye, y'all.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna like leisurely stroll back to the stage, like while all this is dismantled. What did you make?
Sangria.
Girl. It's the age of COVID. I really want to try that and I can't.
I'll make it for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Hi, I'm back on the couch awkwardly. So I'm just going to remind you of a couple of things again, because that's what I do here. There's a lady in my shot. I love her. That was hilarious. Paige Collette, I want to thank you so much for that. That was so great. Couple things, friends. So we are doing this for the next 8 weeks. You can follow us. We have a bazillion social media options for you. We also have a lot of ways that you can support this and support the artists. And there will be various graphics coming up throughout the show, usually covering my face, which is great. Ways that you can give. We have a couple of other things too. We are gonna, for those of you who are watching live tonight, there will be a Q&A session with all of the artists that you've seen here tonight, and that's going to be awesome. The other thing is that this will be replayed Thursday night on Channel 6 at 8 o'clock. So a couple ways you can kind of like, am I rewatching? Did she really eat that on camera? Did she not know how to use her phone? Like, there's all kinds of questions that could be answered. Sometimes you just have to rewatch stuff. I don't know. I do, because I drink a lot. Okay. So, friends, I want to get this. There's one factoid I want to get real clear here. Oh, yeah. Okay. We have, in fact, now I don't want to, I've heard from many people that legend is not a great word to give to somebody who is young and vibrant and still creating. However, there are certain ways to think about people who have really shaped our lives here, especially here in Minnesota. And as one of the co-creators and writers of Mystery Science Theater 3000, and I'm getting like this because funny women all over the world look up to this woman, and we are so excited to have her here. She is the author of the book Employee of the Month. She is if you haven't treated yourself to Ruth Larson Lives on YouTube, please do watch it. It is delightful. Friends, I am so proud and honored to bring Mary Jo Pehl to our stage tonight.
Woo! Yay!
Where's my light? Gal, I felt like I passed away or something. Thank you. That is really sweet. Hi, everybody. Hi. Oh, my gosh. It's so great to see people. Oh, my gosh. I miss all of you. Even if I've never met you, I miss you. Oh, my gosh. I know this is such stating the obvious, but it's such a weird time. And I have anxiety in the best of times, so this is understatement of the century, really heightening it. And I'm trying to be really proactive about managing my anxiety. So I mean, I've read every oh, hang on a second. Sorry, I was just getting used to the sensation of having a bra on again. Okay. I'm really trying to be proactive in managing my anxiety, and I've read every self-help book in the land, and a lot of them come back to the idea that you are supposed to be in the moment, be fully present, be absorbed in what is happening at that moment, because it's really all you have. And when I'm feeling anxiety, I try and get to that headspace and I try and bring myself back. But I have honestly found myself thinking, what if I'm being in the moment wrong? And then I'll come back to it, and then I'll start being obsessed with, I bet everyone else is being in the moment better than me. It's a work in progress. I'm working on it. Yeah, my husband and I, just a few years ago, we moved back to Minnesota. We lived in Austin for about 10 years, right? Yes. And great town. I'm originally from the Twin Cities, and he's a native Texan, and we moved to exciting, hip, happening Northeast Minneapolis,
Yeah.
the Fridley part. I mean, they're right on the border, so it's like what I tell myself that, I'm not a complete suburbanite. Oh, that's so great. People holding up laughing signs. Oh, someone's holding up a boo sign.
Oh, no.
I tease Fridley. And we were able to buy our first house, which was really exciting. And we bought a tiny house. I'm sure you've seen them. They're little, fully contained, fully functional, 400, 500 square feet houses. And it's just my husband and me, so it's perfect for us, actually. And as new homeowners, we realized that we're just like all new homeowners. We really wanted to customize ours, so we're putting on a 3,000 square foot addition. And thinking of adding a basement and a couple 4, 6, 8 garages, but tiny garages. We don't want to go overboard. So I have lived in apartments my whole life, and when you move into a neighborhood that's all single family dwellings, it's a whole different vibe. Like, you turn down our street and there's a big sign that says, a big neighborhood watch sign that says, "We immediately report all suspicious activities to our police department." The neighbors want to know who you are. They introduce themselves, and they will make sure you get your trash to the curb on time. Then they want to make sure you get it in on time because it's unsightly. They do national night out, like they're serious about national night out. There is a block captain who comes to your door and knocks on your door like a humanoid knocking on your door, and signs you up for the potluck on a piece of paper with a pen. And it all seemed really great and really cool and bonding and camaraderie. And then our neighborhood watch sign got stolen. for real. Speaking of totally hot neighbors who live across the street from me. One of our neighbors is so handsome I can't even look at him. I have to adjust my eyeballs like he's an optical illusion, or I have to get special eclipse glasses or something. And he and his family are the sweetest neighbors, but it's hard to have a conversation with him because out of nowhere I'm all awkward and spazzy. It's not like I'm attracted to him per se. It's more like I'm intensely trying to figure him out. Like he's this engineering marvel and I don't know a thing about math or physics. And he'll be talking to me and I'll be trying to play it cool, but what I'm thinking as he's talking is, let me get this straight. You get to walk around the world looking like this. Do I have that right? And I try to play it cool, but I am sure this is what I look like when I'm talking to him. And then, of course, the next time I see him, I'm overcompensating, and I'm like, yes, no, your house is on fire. Being back in the Midwest, I'm getting reacquainted with the whole Minnesota nice thing, right? Yeah, I grew up with it. But when you're away from it for almost 10 years and you come back to it, you really see what people are talking about. I had my first eye doctor appointment after moving back, and I was in the clinic, and new eye doctor, new clinic, and I was reading the eye chart through the giant lens thing that they flip up and down, and I said, APHCF, and the doctor stops me. I'm not kidding. The doctor stops me and he says, oh, not F. What's a letter that might look like an F? No, for real. I was so caught off guard that I'm sure he thought I was a moron. I said, E? And he goes, good. So I continue reading the eye chart, and I say, RPLMQD, and the doctor stops me again, and he says, oh, not D, B. No. I'm totally serious. So I said, B, and he goes, good. Well, I passed, but I don't feel good about it. Yeah, that's that Minnesota nice thing. I'm happy to be back in Minnesota. I loved Austin, but Minnesota is where I'm from, and all my old friends are here, and my family's here, and my parents are getting a little older, and it's nice to be in closer proximity with them during this time. And if I may, I would like to do an impersonation of my father using his iPhone.
Yes.
I don't know how much torque he thinks it needs, but my mother is very liberal and progressive and well-read, but it turns out you cannot take the Midwestern out of the girl. If my mother had been in charge of naming the rock band Pussy Riot, they'd be called, well, you know, Down There Riot. My mother thinks everyone is showing off all the time. Oh, look at that woman using her debit card to pay for her groceries. Oh, I guess she's too cool. Oh, a chip card. I guess she's too cool to write a check or use cash. Well, welcome to Buckingham Palace. La-dee-da. We were driving along, and there was a raccoon on the side of the road. And she said, don't look, that's what they want. And she said, you know, their paws are just like human hands. And I said, well, it's roadkill, Mom. And she said, well, I guess he flew too close to the sun, playing by the side of the freeway with his little human hand paws. She'll hear an ambulance go by. Well, I guess someone's getting to the hospital before everyone else. Guess he thinks he's pretty cool, blowing all the stoplights. Mr. Cool. Mr. Cool. My mom loves to call people Mr. Cool. And a Mr. Cool is always invariably a straight white male ranging in age from infancy to death. And a Mr. Cool is a guy, they're smokers or they vape. They might be driving a car older than, less than 30 years old in a flashy color like gray. And they probably have a rock band, a t-shirt with a rock band logo on it. And she'll be like, well, there goes Mr. Cool parading around his 2 chromosomes in his fancy 1998 gray Monte Carlo and his Rio Speedwagon t-shirt. Mr. Cool. Excuse me, I just want to keep an eye on the time here. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I dropped my iPhone in the toilet last week. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Of all the places that you need to drop your phone, and I had never heard this before, but I guess you're supposed to put your phone in rice when it gets wet, uncooked rice, dry rice. And you would not believe how many bags of rice it took in the toilet to dry out my phone.
Oh my God.
But it worked. It works just fine. And I got a nice side dish out of it, too. I took it to the neighborhood potluck. It was really hard, though. I didn't know toilets were so heavy. I'm enjoying the people going, "You're welcome." I'm like a lot of people. I am addicted to screens. My iPhone, my iPad, my desktop, my laptop. I even drove here in reverse the whole way just to watch the trip on my car's backup camera. I'm not going to tell you how it turned out. You just I don't want to spoiler alert. Okay, I got here. But really, check out my backup camera YouTube channel. I got this car, and it's new to me, but it's a used car, and it's new enough where it has a backup camera, but it's old enough where it still uses 16 millimeter film. So I have to send it out to get developed before I can see if it's okay to back up. Yeah, I'm still working on the audio portion of it. It'd be helpful to hear people's screams. I'm just so used to like putting it in reverse and hoping for the best, So I want to put cameras all over my car, like glove compartment, wheel well, the roof, the moonroof, the little light things, the light things on the front of cars, whatever you call those. The inside of my car would be lined with video screens. Then I'd have all these, it would look like NASA's mission control. I'd have all these scientists sitting in there watching my every maneuver as their cigarettes burn down. I am large, but I identify as petite. A lot of people ask me for nutrition advice, what with my celebrity status. People are always looking for nutrition advice. And here's something I do like to pass along, for real. I have found that 6 or 7 donuts first thing in the morning really curbs my appetite. Until breakfast. For real, I have to quit sugar. I really have a sugar problem, and doctors and health professionals and dietitians and nutritionists all saying that as an addiction, sugar is worse than heroin. Can you believe? Yeah, sugar is worse than heroin. So I'm going to transition to heroin and then ease off that. I have to say that, for all of it, I'm still really comfortable. I enjoy my life. I'm comfortable in my own skin. This is what you see is what you get. But I do notice that even when I'm getting fitted for shoes, I still suck in my stomach. Carolyn, how much time do I have?
How much time does she have? Get it,
Oh,
girl.
6
You
more
got
minutes.
6 more minutes.
Woo,
Woo, woo, woo, woo.
I got married about 11 years ago. I came late to the whole marriage thing. I was a little older when I got married. And I can't help but feel that as an older bride that maybe my adjustment period might have been different. The thing I could not get used to is how much the other person is there. And I know a lot of you are feeling it, especially right now. When I got married, this was something I had heard happening, and I couldn't believe it. I got married, and people right away started asking my husband and me when we were going to start a family, when we were going to start having kids. And honestly, I just we didn't know if it was in the cards for us. What with me being my age, me being let's just say late 30s, early 50s. We did not know if that was in the cards for us. And then I thought, then I realized I couldn't have children if I want to sleep late. Yeah. And then we thought about adopting kids. Like maybe we could adopt. We're older, we're stable. Maybe we could adopt a special needs kid. But nothing too special, like maybe they're long-waisted and it's hard to find pants for them. Yeah. I honestly think it all worked out the way it was supposed to. I could have never had children. I hate meeting new people. I'm really lucky because I have 13 nieces and nephews who I love. I love them so much. And I watch my brother trying to potty train his toddler. And I feel so sorry for my little nephew because I feel like it must be feel like a big bait and switch, like, whoa, whoa, whoa. When did the rules change? I thought we were all using diapers. Yes, I know a lot of people are using toilets, but is a toilet right for me? I like to think of myself as the cool aunt with my nieces and nephews. Like I will say, word up, dog, to let them know they can talk about anything with me. But I found out that I really have my limitations. Like I get really uncomfortable when they start discussing bodies and the facts of life, down there. My 4-year-old niece asked me, Aunt Mary Jo, where's your vagina? Well, I was completely flustered and I didn't know what to say. And I guess you're supposed to keep it age appropriate. I don't know if that means my age or her age. But I panicked and I said, in my purse. No, and she was cool with that. She seemed fine until my purse got stolen. I watch my nieces and nephews growing up, and they range in age from toddler to young adulthood. It's like my own compressed evolutionary chart. And it's so interesting to observe that as we grow up, we stop expecting to be picked up. I mean, no one ever says anything. We just stop going around like this. I want to do that right now. I can't stand quarantine. Pick me up. That is my time. Thanks, you guys.
Oh, man. Woo! Yes. Oh, my gosh. Oh, I just accidentally pulled my microphone off. Hang on. Oh, my God. Let's give it up for Mary Jo Pehl. I got to put my microphone back on. Hang on. Ow, ow, ow. All right. That was amazing. Hey,
So fun.
So in case you all out there kind of don't see what we're seeing, it's really cool to see all these thumbnails of your beautiful faces and the backgrounds of where you're watching us from and how you're responding to us. It's really great, and I want to give like a huge shout out to you. Yay! And all of the comedians today are also doing the same thing. It is so great to have you in here with us. I'm going to do a cute thing. Naomi, you have the best facial expressions. You're so cute. I see Julia Gay. She's one of our upcoming comedians. Yeah. She's here. I'm just calling out the people I'm seeing. Don't hate me if I don't say your name. Okay. Oh, I see Rachel. She was here. She did a great thing for our Rock What You Got Virtual Women's Expo. Also amazing. I see Shannon Custer, the person I love most in the world. There. Oh, and the person I love second most in the world, my sister, Carla. Okay. And they're right next to each other, so it's so cute. I see Barb Sheldon, who's a great supporter of the arts. I see Bridget. Well, at some point we had Karen and Dan. I don't know where they went, but Karen and Dan were the most amazing fans last week. So there they are. So you guys, this is such a great thing, and we hope you come back next week. I want to let you know that next week we have Ellie Hino, Julia Gay, who's on our screen right now somewhere, and Helen Hong. If you are a fan of Wait, Don't Tell Me on NPR, You know who Helen Hong is. And we are just thrilled to have, like we are all of our comedians. My gosh, we are getting such top talent. And it is amazing that you're all working with us, to the talent tonight, to last week, to future talent. You're working with us on something that's really unusual and crazy. And we're doing it because this is what we need right now. And so thank you for being here. Once again, there's going to be all kinds of ways that you can participate in giving and participating and spreading the word. Get on it. Get on it. Hang on. 1 second. Get on it. Also, for those of you, we're wrapping it up right now for the live stream, but those of you who have bought a ticket, you are invited to the Q&A afterwards. So we're going to have a question and answer session with all of our artists here tonight. And for the rest of you, if you want to spread the word, please let everybody know that this will re-air on Thursday at 8 o'clock on MCN6. Bam.